Podcasts Instagram.
What is our what?
Experience Podcast.
At Experience Podcast.
At Experience Podcast.
We can move this closer too. We don't have
No, you
to.
told me to move it back.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, so that it would.
Okay. Well, these two are on their phones, so looks like I'm gonna have to
Oh my
carry
god,
this
it's
thing.
recording.
This is also take B.
Right. We're not gonna say why. Oh my god, y'all's Instagram has 2 followers. When did you make it?
We have 2 followers. When did we get 2 followers?
Because I just
Nothing.
followed you.
Wow.
And then-
Wow.
Y'all aren't even following your own podcast.
I don't have an Instagram.
I don't have an Instagram.
Why do neither of y'all have Instagrams?
Oh, we stay off the grid.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I should do that. I deleted mine for a bit.
You were one of those.
One of those people.
You,
Trying to take a
deleted your
break.
podcast. Yeah, you wanted to get back down to the ground.
Well, it was, I don't know, it just wasn't anything positive. I guess that does make me one of those. I don't know. It was about a year. It was a good year.
And then you were like, you were trying to, slide into some people's DMs on Instagram, and you're like, I kind of
Yeah,
need Instagram to
absolutely.
do that. So.
Well, I do have an interesting story with that one, actually.
All right, we'll get to that right after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
And we have someone else today.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Peter Tilley.
That's it.
I need no more introductions.
I'm sorry. Go back to your story. What did you want to talk about?
All right, so I was talking about how there was a time at the beginning of the semester where I've only been on 2 dates since my ex and I broke up.
Which was
in
when?
December of
Okay.
last year, so it's almost
You're
been,
moving quick.
geez, it's almost been a year. And so I was like, I need to go on another date at this point. And
You have like
so-
a calendar of when, like,
Right.
oh, I got to go on a date.
I'm
it's
a Georgia
like,
texting, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Look at everything through an overly rational lens. It's fun. Live life without emotion. It's beautiful. And so I was being putting myself a bit more out there than I normally would.
Was
So
that
I was
mean?
like being okay with
so, like,
sort of like texting people that I vaguely knew. And,
Wow.
I only ended up like messaging 2 or 3
could
people.
you explain this?
That's
So, like,
one of
like
the
you would
days.
just text and be like, how's your day? Or
Right.
is it
Well,
more like a,
this was like
Come
somebody.
over right now.
yeah, what are you doing
This
tonight?
exact no,
Yeah.
definitely not that second one.
What are you doing this afternoon?
This is like
What are you doing this morning?
What are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing
this
this
afternoon
morning?
would probably be the best because I'm the
Okay.
type of guy I like coffee shops and walks, and that's about it. That's,
Okay.
That's like second base for you.
if that's what you consider a first date's
Yeah.
best baseline to be, yes.
No.
And so I was hanging out with Steven Aceto
Mm-hmm.
in the trumpet section, and his girlfriend, who's in the Georgia State Color Guard, the same as my
That's
ex.
a connection, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then we were hanging out with a 4th person on the Georgia State Color Guard.
Wait, who's your ex?
Should we mention?
You
Or,
don't
like
wanna
just
mention-
You need a
initials?
name?
Well, I know a
Initials?
couple because I know a couple through Steven's girlfriend.
You probably
Initials.
won't
It
know.
was not her then.
No.
Do
Okay.
initials?
Initials. I don't. Yeah.
And so there was another person that was there, and we sort of hit it off. And sort of, not good at judging that kind of stuff. And so
What do you mean by that? What happened?
I don't know.
Go into
it's like
details.
Go into details.
It was just, we were at cookout. We were talking, and we.
Oh,
talked-
cookout
what-
date.
you don't go to cookout for a
Right,
date.
no, this wasn't a date at all.
Ugh,
This
yeah.
is just
Why'd you
happened.
take her
We
to
happened to
cookout?
run out into each other at.
That's
That's
hardly
not a
date.
place that I would. But
no,
I,
this
even,
isn't a date.
Even
This is-
so,
no.
I,
Yeah, I'm not even telling the story.
even so, I wouldn't be like. If I see someone at cookout that I know, I'm almost embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like it's
Cookout
almost
That's,
Embarrassing.
that's like a
embarrassing.
sign.
It is good, but it's like. It's
That's
not-
where you go with like
I
the
don't get
boys.
this.
Yeah.
'Cause so many
It's not
people
a-
are like that with Cookout, Waffle House, and McDonald's, where they're like these places that are everybody admits are delicious.
No.
McDonald's.
Those aren't delicious. They're budget foods.
No, they're delicious.
that are open late, and that's
Yeah.
the reason to go.
No, I went to Waffle House this morning for breakfast
By yourself?
by myself. I do it almost
See,
every
if I were
week.
there, if I saw you there, I'd be embarrassed to see you.
Yeah.
Aren't you normally embarrassed to see me?
Yeah, but especially there.
Okay, that's fair. Well,
Thanks
all
for the
this to
invite, by the
say-
way. I wasn't busy this morning.
Right.
No, we could have had Waffle House.
Yeah, we could have done this at Waffle House.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. All this to say, this person was on the Georgia State Color Guard, and so the next morning I was like, "Hey, do you want to go get coffee in like Inman Park or something sometime?" I forgot that she was like best friends with my ex, and that she was like, "Yeah,
that's who you targeted.
can't-" Right? Like it just didn't
Of all the options,
register to me that those 2 people were in the same circles, and so it was embarrassing, and I tried to be on friendly terms with my ex, and I think that one definitely put a wrench into those plans, and so I haven't really talked to her best friend since then. But can't remember why that story was getting brought up, but I thought it was an interesting one.
Oh, because you mentioned the cookout date.
No, it was before that. No, that was the end of that was the pinnacle of the story that we
you went on a
started
date
before.
at cookout?
No, there was no date.
Was this one of the 2 dates
there
that
were
you had since
no,
last
there were
December?
no dates. No.
Okay.
Those were both with the
With
same
cookout.
girl. No,
Oh.
no cookout.
So you had 2 dates over the span of a year. Were they like months apart?
No, they were
Back
about
to
a
back.
week and a half.
Okay,
apart.
back to back, yeah.
Yeah, with the same girl. And then I didn't invite her on another date, and I think she kind of got the message. But I
that's
wasn't
sad.
interested. It
What
is.
happened?
Yeah.
I just wasn't
She wanted to go
interested.
cookout. You didn't want to go.
No, it wasn't. You're really fixating on cookout.
Well, Cookhouse is the ideal place, I would say, because I'm the expert on dating,
Mhm.
as you know.
Of course.
I would say Cookout is the place to go, like, just hands down for a date if you're really interested in someone. I think.
I went to a cookout date. When was it? This past Sunday.
Really?
Cookout date. Yeah.
Okay. So apparently it is a thing.
It's a thing.
I mainly just offer up coffee shops and then walking and then go on like literally a 5-hour walk and see
That's
how much
long.
they actually like me.
A 5-hour walk.
That's
Right.
a long.
That's like a
walk.
hike at that point.
Yeah, that's long.
No, I walk a lot. I walk too much.
Mhm.
I never had a car in high school, and so living in the suburbs, in order to get anywhere, you had to walk like 2 miles to get
You
somewhere.
just walked it.
Yeah,
And
You
I-
can
I
get a
just-
bike.
Was it
You
true?
don't
I
want
can
a
bring this
bike?
point up. Like, bikes are usually
He has a Razor scooter from 1998.
nice.
1999
That's awesome.
1999.
with some
That's when
stickers
I was
on it.
born.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're 19.
1999. I am.
Oh.
We've been
Yeah.
over this. But
Or have we?
no, I do have a bike now,
Not
and
on
I
this
biked
version.
here.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have been late.
Where were you coming? You're not on campus?
No, I'm in Woodruff South, so it's
Okay. So you're on campus.
I'm in.
Right near Tanner.
I am.
Yeah.
I don't know where Tanner is.
Woodruff South.
Oh yeah, he's on the 4th floor.
Yeah,
No,
Connor
he's
stayed
not.
over.
He's on
I'm
the-
so
he's
sorry.
on the 3rd floor.
Connor stayed over late at night. In
No,
his
now I
apartment,
feel
in
bad
his
because
place.
Tanner's gonna listen to this and he's gonna be
He's not
like,
gonna listen to this.
He did listen to the Bonnie one.
Did he really?
Yeah, because the first thing he said was like, "Hey, I heard Bonnie's single."
I did hear that too. Though.
That's like the first thing. That's his
What a
one
guy.
takeaway from the Bonnie episode. We talked about so much stuff.
Well, that's because in like the first 3 minutes that she said she was single.
Yeah, and that's
it
all he
perked up
needed.
his ears.
which I also apparently did. What is up with people just coming on this podcast
And
going
announcing that
like,
they're single. Nadia did it too, actually.
I'm single? Hello?
Nadia
Uh-huh.
did it as well.
Perfect.
Quam and didn't.
No, but they're single.
For
Yeah.
who all listens to this? How many views or listens? does
You want us to
it
announce it right here? Our ratings?
Yeah.
The ratings are good enough to stay afloat.
What does that
It
mean?
varies. Some episodes, like our best episode, has a lot of views.
A lot, as in the millions.
Can we have a number?
million?
Right.
Millions.
Okay.
Millions.
So
Billions.
this is their full
Let's
time
just
job.
say
They
there-
do get enough money off
There,
the Patreon
there are
for this.
there. Well, we'll get to that. We'll tell you about the Patreon right after this. But let's just say there are dozens of listeners.
There are dozens of us.
There are
dozens.
quite
Maybe a couple dozen listeners.
Have
Plus
y'all
our
seen Arrested
6-year-old.
Development?
Yes.
Okay. Like the Never Nudes. There are
Mhm.
dozens of us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Just making sure you.
There's a reference.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was a good one.
Thank you. Have you seen Arrested Development?
No,
Oh, okay.
No,
But,
he was arrested and he's working through that development right,
Right.
the
now.
incarceration.
Anyway, the Patreon. Let's go over the Patreon. So we haven't broken down these tiers in a while now.
No, and we
We
because
haven't broken down in tears in a while. either.
because I
Yeah.
study
No.
the ways of the like self promoters like some of our expert like Logan Paul and Jake Paul
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and they're experts in their field.
They are.
Professionals.
Politicians are the same way. Majority of the time that people spend on the Hill is calling up people for money.
Oh.
Yeah. You were saying something.
Well, as I
Okay,
was
so the
saying,
Patreon,
with the Patreon, so we've got to self-promote it, and so we start out with our silver tier because bronze is like our base. Bronze is our free tier.
Mhm.
Everyone has the bronze membership if you listen to the podcast. Silver starts out at
Silver Sneak.
You get it.
$29.99 a month.
Uh-huh.
But today, for our listeners who like, if you've never subscribed to our Patreon before, I'm offering a one-time use discount for 1 month.
I don't
It
think y'all
is.
understand at Patreon.
What's the
right?
promo code?
The promo code is Extreme promo code.
Extreme promo
and this
code.
is for not 1%, not 2%, not even 5%, 1.5% off.
Nice.
Wow.
So it's a big deal. But that's only for the silver one because we make too much
That's
money.
much
off
better
of it.
than the promo code where you paid an extra 1%.
Yeah. And so and then we have our
Terrible promo.
Oh, trying to make a date tonight.
Nice. For viewers that can't see, that was a visual gag.
That was a visual gag.
Oh.
Someone just texted me. Do we have plans for tonight?
And someone as in...
A future pilot in the U.S. Navy.
Navy. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Or I guess a naval aviator. I apologize for all the
for all the
for
Navy,
anyone who cares.
for all the Navy people that listen that are worried.
Oh, one.
All of
two.
our Navy fans.
Maybe we'll go to Cookout.
Dude,
Actually, we just went Sunday, so we probably shouldn't go again.
I want to go to Zaxby's.
Zaxby's? Yeah.
Zaxby's is good date.
Well, we
location.
went on Louisville, I guess.
Right,
was
jeez,
good.
that Zaxby's, I felt bad for them.
That was
they were
a-
not prepared for.
I think I've talked about it on air.
Really,
Have I?
it was that
Did I
much
talk
of an
about
experience.
Zaxby's?
You may have talked about it with Bonnie.
No, it would have been like a couple weeks ago.
I don't know. I don't think you did.
Anyway, the Patreon. So the next
Patreon.
tier.
Next
Oh,
tier's our
God.
gold tier,
Mhm.
which is...
$14.
$14.
It's less
It's less than the silver tier.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's actually
it's
more
a premium.
expensive.
It's $35.99.
$14 a week.
It's $35.99?
Yeah, we reduced it down to $35.99.
We have reduced it down. This is news to me, folks.
Mhm.
$35.99.
Well, hold on. What are the perks? I'm just giving you
I
a head. The
forgot the
perks
perks.
of the silver
Okay,
tier.
so for the silver tier,
$29.99 with the promo code Extreme promo code. No E at the beginning. This
a
is
really
X,
bad improv.
Extreme.
this is
It's like a really bad improv.
We haven't told you the perks of silver.
No, I know, but like an improv game where you have to make up perks for a Patreon or some sort of.
Are you doing the Tanner thing where you comment on the bit as we're doing it?
I don't really consider that the Tanner thing.
That is
but
the
Tanner
Tanner
has
what I'm doing.
explained bits while we were doing them.
Well, no, I'm
And
making
then-
fun of this. I mean, I guess this would be I'm just making fun of it because it does sound like
A bad improv?
game. But we can move on. If
That's
you
kind of the
prefer. I
theme
don't
of the
do that.
show, though, is
Yeah.
bad improv.
it's a whole bad improv game.
No,
Is
Tanner
there any such thing
Tanner
as good improv?
Tanner got so bad that he started ruining future bits.
No, yeah, he would like predict
You're like,
them.
oh, and you're gonna do that thing where you do that next, and
All
he's
right, I
like,
won't
well,
do
you
that.
can do that. No, you can go ahead.
No, I
You can
won't.
do whatever you want.
There's
It's a free
a
country.
sort of detached analytical position that forms in organizations when people become upset and lose power in an organization. And so I think that may have been what was happening to Tanner, where he felt ostracized by you two. And so he had to, in order to cope with the ostracization, he has to sort of bring his emotions out of it and look at it from a
This
detailed
is what
analytical
happens.
point of
We
view.
bring a public policy major
That was a
on.
lot of big words.
We bring
I don't know what you just said.
Basically, Tanner felt left out, and so
Tanner
he was
felt-
trying to overcompensate.
Right. Well, yeah. He didn't want to be emotionally hurt, so he had to pull his emotions out and became an analyst of it. And
Well, this stems down to the fact that Tanner
looking.
isn't sure if he's friends with us or not.
It
I
is.
think it's-
We
Tanner,
do- can
you
I- can I
are
play
friends
the
with
clip?
Daniel.
Can I play the clip?
Do you have an audio clip?
I have a video clip. This is video evidence.
Okay, so he's gonna play this. He's pulling it up, and then we'll get back to
No,
the
we
Patreon
can't
tier.
play a video.
No, well,
What
it's
about-
the audio is all that
There's
matters.
an audio
Okay.
part.
It's just the audio that matters. The video is just Tanner walking around.
All right. Where
So
is
put it closer to the mic here.
It
We've had
is-
phone calls on air.
Yeah.
Okay.
We usually have Nadia call in. Maybe I'll have her
Are
call
you
in.
ready?
Maybe I'll have Owen
Look
call
at,
in.
look at that. Look at
That's
that.
the one
Look
call.
at this guy.
I like
Look,
it.
this is you. Well, it's not playing now. All right.
Daniel, we're definitely friends.
Why do you think he's not friends with you?
Because he's really mean.
Okay.
He's really mean.
Put it closer to the mic.
I think we're friends. Alright, cut it.
That was it.
Yeah.
I'm
that's video-
100% sure that is how Daniel is friends with people.
What?
Is
Like,
by, I
You're
wouldn't
not
call
sure.
it being mean, but like
Do you think we're
joking
friends?
around with him. Yeah. I know we're friends, Dan.
Okay.
No,
I'm
we're
confident
friends.
in our friendship.
That's pretty
Well,
confident.
I wouldn't say we're friends.
We're acquainted.
Yeah.
Your coworkers.
We're coworkers.
Anyway, so the silver tier. What are the?
Oh my
perks?
god.
Yeah. Well, you
haven't heard the
you
perks.
you want to explain. You know these because this is actually you are the first person to ever go through all three tiers.
Mhm.
And so, which tier is your favorite?
You know those YouTube videos, the worth it ones that BuzzFeed does, where they go eat the same food at 3 different price points?
Yes.
Okay, so this is going to be like that, where we've got the same thing, a tier system at 3 different price points. We've got bronze, silver, and gold.
With the different things.
But, well, like, it's the same generalized things, but there's different keys to them. And I have to say, I'm a biggest fan of the bronze. I think the bang for your buck there is
Wow.
unbelievably
Okay, so there is no
amazing.
bronze.
There is no
however-
bronze. This
however-
is the free tier. And so you just we just lost all our
No,
Patreon.
however, the gold tier really does make you feel special.
Mm-hmm.
The way that Daniel and Connor deliver on the things that they promise you really does give you this feeling that you're at a gold tier in their minds, you know?
Mhm.
as if you gave them $35 to do something.
And so we had Owen on a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, and he
I
really
need to listen to that one.
and he really got deep into some certain
Yeah.
topics. Because when you look at it,
He spoke?
well, when you look at it and you take the big picture,
Yeah.
you can really dive in and get each sort of individual topic and apply it to each other.
Okay.
Because it's really about going full circle here.
You're talking an incredibly
because
ambiguous
because
I have no clue
because
what's
you
going
take you look at the top and then you look at the bottom and
Yeah.
then you kind of fill it in. You could figure out.
Yeah, wait, why don't we have a
each
continuous
part.
tier? Or y'all, sorry, I didn't mean to include myself into the
So
group.
we now you're part of the.
Part of the crew.
I have a bad habit of doing
If
that.
you, if you
conversation.
enjoy your time, you can come on later. We could have you on again.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have someone else too. We could do a 4-way.
4-way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the silver tier benefits here.
So the silver tier,
What are you getting out of it?
the benefits are you get the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So the podcast really launches
8 a.m. Tuesday morning.
8 a.m. Tuesday morning.
Eastern time.
For the silver tier, you get it at 7:55.
5 minutes early.
A whole 5
you
minutes
get a 5-minute early bonus. So let's say I'm Tanner.
You're Tanner. You're
And
Tanner.
I
Debates
listen.
himself.
Tanner. Yeah, host of the
host of the
what was the show we made up for him?
what did he it was something.
The debate with Tanner Debates?
No, it was like Tanner Master Tanner Master Debates.
Yeah.
It was Tanner
I can't remember what it was.
Master Debates Weekly. It was Tanner Master
Tanner
Debates
Master
Weekly.
Debates Weekly.
It was Tanner Master
That's
Debates
what it
Weekly.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His show.
That is,
He's
you
the
can
host
tell
of-
by how much I'm laughing that was a really funny
Yeah, he
joke.
really
It
likes
was a good
yeah,
one.
Anyway, his nickname in middle school was Tanner Master Debates.
No,
So-
that was the thing that he put on his...
I know, but now it's someone listen to the show. Anyway, yeah. I'm Tanner, and I listen to the podcast at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Then Peter over here,
Yep.
he's part of the silver tier.
I am.
He's making the references to me, Tanner, 5 minutes before I get even a chance to listen
Tanner
to
feels like a bad person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Tanner, because Tanner doesn't know if Peter's his real friend. So
That's
Tanner
the other
is
issue.
like, oh, Peter's just lying to me.
Yeah,
he's just
just messing with me. Oh, I got it. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so I want
Oh.
to
We got a
put
big. So I got an affirmation
caveat
here.
out there that Tanner is a great friend of mine, and that anything that may be taken as bullying is not in fact bullying.
No,
but
Tanner's great.
It's playful. I
Tanner's.
just don't want, I don't know. I feel like it verges on mean if people
We
don't
need to have
understand the
we need to have like a
relationship
big
with Tanner.
all-star show where we have all the guests and then
Yeah.
just like Tanner like sitting at a podium
Yes.
and it's everyone dishing out to Tanner.
It's
Right.
like a roast night.
Right.
It would be the
But
Tanner
like
roast.
opposite, because
Just
usually
like-
the one on the podium is the one roasting, but it's just everyone roasting the one on the podium.
Because Bonnie really wants to meet him. Nadia definitely wants to, or she likes talking to him for obvious reasons. We'll bring Noah on.
Bring Noah on.
Written.
Yeah, we've been
He's
trying to
supposed
get
to
him
come
on. He's supposed to do
Oh.
a private episode with Connor.
And just never did.
Does he
Yeah.
know you?
No, not really.
Well,
Okay,
they met
nice.
at the I'm sorry, the
After-school.
after school activities.
Well, now it's weird that we're conflating those two names, but nobody heard the word that he said. The
No.
5-letter word.
Fine. Anyway, you get a 5 minutes early.
More
with the
than a
silver
joke.
tier.
That's how many letters the
the,
word
the
is.
gold tier.
The gold tier. So the gold tier, that well, for $35.99, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
and that gives you the podcast a whole 10 minutes. Or
10 minutes. That's a long time.
And so at this point, you're giving Tanner depression.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Well, we have a platinum
We have
tier.
a platinum
Oh
tier.
my God.
We're not finished.
$59.99.
$59.99
A month.
A month. And this gets you the podcast a whole.
Can you guess, Peter?
You gotta guess.
I, to be honest, was zoning out for a bit and didn't.
Anyway,
even
it's
do that.
15 minutes early
15
for the
minutes
platinum
early.
tier at $59.99. Now, keep in mind when you buy this tier,
Yeah.
it is a 24-month locked subscription.
Yes.
You cannot get out of it. Ironclad is what they call it. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's a 24-month ironclad subscription. I think it's worth
Yeah.
it for our listeners. I
No,
think you're
sure.
not gonna regret signing up.
I mean, it's you can't like it's a big contract.
Mhm.
But the thing is after those 2 years,
Mhm.
you're gonna want to make. 10
You're gonna want to
more.
do it again. Yeah. You're gonna tell all your friends to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mhm.
pretty good. And so
we have an
someone
announcement to
told
make.
me that I can make an announcement. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll save it for later. We got to keep the teas alive.
The teas.
Because
Because
I'm pretty sure. So these
I
episodes.
drink a lot of tea.
tea.
What
Yeah.
kind of tea do you like?
Green tea, chamomile, and mint. Those are my three
Mm.
favorites. But I like decaffeinated green tea because I tend to drink tea after 4 o'clock. And if I have caffeine after 4 o'clock, I don't get to bed in time.
Oh, what are you?
I-
12 years old.
I go to bed usually around like 10:30 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All my classes are early in the morning. And I wake up at either 6:45 or 7:45 every morning. So
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
And fun fact, I get 8 hours of sleep, and I'm still horribly exhausted every single day. It's great.
Do you have like low iron or?
No, I think I might have hyperthyroidism.
Yeah, you have. No, would it be hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism?
Well, being tired is with hypo, but at the same time, I'm mildly anxious and have high blood pressure
So that'd be
Okay.
hyper.
and really high metabolism, fast metabolism.
And so for that, you have to consume like radioactive sugar or something.
Sure.
Okay. I think
No idea what that was a reference to, but I. am
How's
a
the running
fan
going
of that.
along?
I'm still doing it. I went on a barefoot run in the rain on Thursday.
Okay.
on concrete.
Yeah, it tore up my feet a bit.
Why did you do that?
I felt like it.
No, I'm just not. You're not gonna feel like that in 30 years.
Yeah. You
No,
could've-
that's why I'm doing it now.
Why didn't you just
Yeah.
run inside?
I hate running on a track.
Oh,
On
really?
a treadmill.
You like to feel the breeze?
I do. And it's not the same on your joints because you're not actually moving forward. You're just moving your feet along the ground versus pushing yourself with it.
Mhm. He's done the science for it, Connor.
he knows
You're
his-
right,
Yeah,
yes.
he does. He knows his stuff.
It hurts my ankles and knees a bit more.
Okay.
And so I don't really like track running too much, but it's flat, which is nice. So Connor, you don't know this, but
No, I don't run.
most days before practice, that's not what I was making a reference to, but thanks for sharing that.
He got the second best mile and a half time for the Navy SEAL challenge.
Really?
I
You
told
did the Navy
Owen
SEAL
his
challenge?
time, which was like 8.5 minutes, I think.
No, it was like 7.5 minutes, but
That is not true. But
For a mile and a half, no, he did 8.5 minutes. I
right,
think, which is insane because Owen did like 10.5.
right.
He didn't believe it was a real thing.
No.
But he really still doesn't believe that you really did 8.5, whatever.
he
mile
really
and a
doesn't believe it.
Mile and a
I
half.
should have been there.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
well.
were both there.
Yeah, well, but he wasn't there like see me.
No.
Running the
Or maybe he did.
How'd
just
you do on the
like
other
left.
events?
fine.
You didn't do the push-ups.
No, I did do the push-ups, but they didn't record it. I saw that. They
Yeah,
didn't
I
type
saw
it in.
that. So you didn't get ranked.
I didn't get ranked.
My roommate, or my suite mate rather, he did, I think it was the sit-ups or something, but whoever was doing it with him only gave him half the time allotted. But he still was able to do it. I think it was like it might have been the push-ups, but he got 51 in 1 minute.
That's
impressive.
It was impressive.
That's pretty good. He
Right.
did none.
I did 0.
Push-ups are
I just kind of laid there because I forget to like lay in the guy's like fist, and
Yeah.
I was like, it's just nice sitting here.
So it's the first time I've ever been touched. So
Yeah.
I'm
That's
gonna
gonna
just lean into
No,
literally
but
lean into this one.
The
Yeah.
same suite mate actually threw up after running the 2 miles.
Yeah, that
Pushed
was-
himself a bit too hard.
Is it a mile and a half?
Come on.
Or the
Did he
mile.
do 2
It
miles?
rounds up, it rounds
That's why he threw up.
Probably
He
went
went
up.
2 miles.
And then he was all sweaty, and he had to get to class in 5 minutes, so he changed into the Navy SEAL shirt and then went to class.
Oh gosh,
Right?
it's a good shirt this year. Though.
It did look like a really good shirt.
Why didn't
I
you do
wish.
it?
I think I had something during that time. I can't remember what.
I don't think you did.
Well, because it was like until 6, right?
Yeah, but it was like the whole day,
Thursday.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the whole day.
It was the whole
Right.
day.
Well, I forgot
All day
about it.
Thursday.
There we go.
There we go. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think I could do very many push-ups.
Why not? Well,
I've
the
got-
dad,
oh,
the
I
dad
guess y'all
body
can't
that you
see
have.
this.
Yeah. So
My arms are twigs.
and Peter also
Oh,
is a full blown dad body.
I don't really. I mean, I've got a.
When you
I don't know
run,
how to call
it
it
gets
belly.
it accentuates more.
It
though.
does.
Because so when
Dad
he runs belly first.
I do.
He's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
kicking his feet back while he
I
runs.
do. They splay out, so I've got
Yeah.
knock knees.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Every section of my body has something weird to it. I've got a very large forehead. My teeth, I've got a huge overbite, and then they're off center. So my jaw is off center.
Not a very
Um,
attractive person, is I
I
guess
am a
what we're
very
getting
attractive
at.
person.
We're
My
going through all your
chest-
physical
because-
problems.
My chest is like the bones are warped basically.
So it kind of
Bones.
rounds out. It kind of
Yeah, it's
rounds
fun.
towards
There's,
the center.
3 parts. It's weird.
It's like a camel hump.
I've got
Yeah.
knock knees.
but on the stomach.
Yeah,
on the
you- I- I like
underside.
just
It's
this
an
rib.
underside candle hump.
Yeah.
Camel hump. I'm
Right.
sorry. Go, but your knees.
And then, so my knees, if I've got my feet forward and I'm standing up, and I bend my knees, they bend into each other. So I can't do squats. Squats, you're supposed to have your feet forward,
Mhm.
but whenever I do that, my knees bump into each other.
Maybe
Uh,
could you do it different? Would it be
Well,
different?
no,
like
I
a
do
leg press or
end up
something?
doing it differently with squats, and I can do squats, but the physical trainers in track would always yell at me because they're like, you got to have your feet forward. And I'm like, sir, my knees work differently than everybody else's does.
You have to be on the special. You have to be in like a box on the
Basically, right.
side. Like, this is the special squatter.
And then my feet go out and my pinkies are sideways. My pinky toes, not my pinkies. It's fun.
So it sounds like he's very self-conscious.
He's
about his
he's got a
problems.
lot of these.
He's got a lot of
Oh no,
physical
I don't
problems.
care about anyone.
Oh, you just know them.
I just know them.
Yeah,
Right.
you're just
Somewhere.
knowledgeable. Like,
I
oh, I've
just-
got all these.
I'm
On
things.
your cookout dates, you say here's the list of all my
I don't
You just
physical
take it out.
problems.
You're like, I've
I
got
don't
this.
tell most
This,
people this in the
this.
first.
He's got pictures. It's a whole.
I didn't know if you could see my teeth were like this.
He has
but-
handouts.
It's
Yeah.
more of an interesting fact.
It's a
and then
brochure.
Uh-huh.
I always like following it up with the fact that my family is from Alabama and Louisiana.
So?
And that, the joke about Alabama is there's inbreeding, and inbreeding causes mild physical deformities. And normally people laugh at that, but when I say the joke like that with no actual punchline, people don't laugh.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Thank you.
so.
That just sounds weird.
It is kind of weird.
It,
But it's
it
fun.
seems like it's hurtful to Alabamians, I
Yeah.
think, who aren't inbred.
Even the
Right.
ones that are inbred.
Even
few.
the ones that are inbred.
Yeah.
Well, I think they'd laugh.
Oh, we
at
never
that. They-
closed the curtain. Maybe we should close it.
Why do you think
Well,
people
it's
would
a sneak peek.
Yeah.
I mean, our fans out there.
The fans who are just pounding
just-
on the door to
just
get in.
standing at the door.
For those who can't see, do you know for the Good Morning America how there's all those people out there in signs?
Yeah, we should get
with
that.
We've got the same exact thing going on currently. There's
Yeah.
about, what would you say, 50, 60 people?
It's
out there?
about
Yeah,
50, 60 people.
Yeah, 50 or 60 people.
It's hard to
working
estimate
outside.
because there's so many people cluttered together at this in one small area.
Before, while Daniel couldn't shut up, I was counting the signs, and about, I would say,
When I couldn't.
40 of them are for Connor.
Yeah.
6 of them are for Daniel, and 4 of them, I don't know how they knew it was going to be for me. But
Wow, how they knew
that's,
you were
they're
coming on.
impressive.
That is
We
not
didn't announce
bad.
it on. We should
No.
we should announce guests on Instagram and post like pictures.
should.
but
we
really
should.
bad pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah, like your worst picture.
right, that you just find.
Like, just wanna be
Just like
running
if they're just like
deep
standing
dive.
like, like just like looking off somewhere else.
I think that's a great idea, actually.
I will do that. So for you're bringing some spoilers for next week's episode.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, so here's the story of how we met these people.
Is it? Are they guaranteed to?
They are guaranteed to come.
You said 12%. That's
I
why I
said
got Peter.
12%.
That's why I was like, all right, let me get Peter. 'Cause-
Well, I'm not
Well,
offended by that
well,
at
I
all.
had to back up to
No,
back.
no. Because like I was gonna get you on, but like Connor said, like, oh, I have some people, but he always says this.
I said a lot.
99% of the guests that we bring on are me.
Yeah.
Not 99. It's about 90.
How many guests have we had on?
Podcast 19B.
Well, we had Nadia, me,
Oh my God.
Bonnie,
we're gonna
me,
go through this.
Tanner, me,
Right.
Libby, me.
Oh, you had Libby on?
Yeah, we had Libby
Oh,
on.
wasn't she one of your first?
Yeah, she was the first
Yeah, she was
guest.
our first
Yeah,
guest.
I need to listen to that one. Libby's my dad for the Rats, which is a reference very few people are gonna.
And speaking
No
of
one's gonna
Libby,
get it.
and speaking of Steven Aceto,
Yeah.
and speaking of Connor, and speaking of Nadia, we'll have an announcement later.
And speaking of you.
And speaking of me,
Yeah.
as I'm speaking about myself,
Yeah.
we'll have an announcement later. I'm sorry, go ahead. So yeah, most of the guests are me.
That seemed to be.
Why are
All
we
of
talking
them.
about that?
Huh?
Why are we talking
Because
about
he's bringing on.
Oh, he's
guests
bringing
for-
on-
I'm
that's
bringing on
right.
guests. Well, before you interrupt
What are their
me.
names?
Well, should I reveal their names? Their actual names?
that?
No,
let's
make
just
up
say-
names.
Maybe-
make-
okay, so we have
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
we have Stephanie
Uh-huh.
and we have
Geraldine.
Geraldine. We have Stephanie and Geraldine, and they are great guys. We met them at a networking event.
Is this okay? Are you telling the real story? Or are you telling
I'm
the fake
telling
story?
the fake story.
No. We should do a thing where you tell the real. Oh, it's too late now. Like you tell
Right,
two
right,
stories.
right.
One is the real story
One is
and
real,
one is the fake.
Oh,
You have to
so
figure
good.
out which one is which.
Well, we could still do
Well,
that.
it's still technically a networking event that I met them at.
Okay, yeah. So here's an idea. Okay, we're gonna play a game. So
Okay.
you tell two different stories.
Okay.
Okay, you can make it mostly the same, but then like change certain things. So the networking event is gonna be the same,
Okay.
and we have to figure out which one is the real story.
I don't think this is gonna turn out as well.
This is gonna go well.
It's
This is gonna
not.
go well.
It's definitely not.
Okay.
Could you not scoot away from
Well,
the mic?
that was it was for
It was to wind up.
it was to wind up. Okay, so here's
That's just.
We're going to be introducing a new game for this segment, where in fact we've got Connor. I almost forgot his name for a second. He's going to be telling 2 stories, one of which will be.
Well, because the other thing is the audience can play along as well.
yeah. So and this will be exciting for them because this is the first time
Okay.
we've had the
I
audience
was
have to
interrupted,
use their
but
brain.
we're fine.
as
Yeah,
a
we've
podcast.
never had to make the audience use their brain before.
Yes.
This is just to
Connor's
cover.
but Connor's going to be the one talking.
Yeah, but this is just
I
a
don't
cover.
think that does anything.
No, well, it helps with like spit and stuff, and like other things.
Are
that
you
fly into
spitting
it.
into the mic? Is that
Well, it's
something
the,
we're
it's
supposed
the
to be doing?
splash zone.
It's essentially a splash thing.
So,
Yeah.
to explain this visual guy, we were talking about the little circular film in front of the mic.
yeah, it's just to keep the mic clean,
Okay.
Yeah. Which is
and
also
so like in case we bump
So I
into
just
it.
learned I was
like-
supposed to have been spitting at the mic.
It's like a shield. Yeah. You should be spitting. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the 2 stories.
Okay, so don't tell us which one is which. Obviously, go
Okay.
ahead.
One was just at a
No, the networking event we know is
Okay.
is a real thing, so that has to be in both.
okay. So networking events. Well, what else do I say?
How'd you meet them?
Oh, well, we met them at the networking event while we were grabbing food.
Okay.
And it was both Tanner and I. And Tanner and I were grabbing some food. And then I was talking about the podcast, how he wasn't going to come on anymore. And then one of them came up. Well, they both came up. One of them came up and talked to me.
Stephanie or Geraldine?
This was Geraldine.
Okay.
Geraldine came up and talked to me. And she was like, a podcast? And then, we discussed how we had a podcast. And then they were very excited to come on. So.
Okay, now I go to
That's story
the next
one.
story.
Story 2 is we were at a networking event where there was
Stephanie that came up. And
this is where Stephanie came up and talked to. This was at the networking event,
Okay.
and there was let's say there was alcohol, there was blow up things. Blow up things is in like inflatables, and then they came up, and we talked about a flag, and then mentioned the podcast. Well, she mentioned the podcast, and then I mentioned, I have a podcast.
Okay,
And
so you're not good at the counter. Isn't the second one obviously the fake one?
Huh?
I would say that the first one is obviously the fake one. The
You think?
second one has
Well, look how good
detail
I
in
am.
it that
you
the
think
first one doesn't.
Yeah, but for him, I think he lies with more detail
Yeah, but
than the truth.
who would, when trying to lie, would just randomly bring up a flag with no context to it? Like,
Because
usually
it's
when people
Connor.
try to come... So you're
Well,
saying
that's
me
a good
that...
conversation starter. Like, hey, let's talk about this. Why is the flag at half-mast? That's how a conversation starts.
That's a
usually.
terrible conversation.
That's a good conversation starter.
That is a depressing conversation no matter what you're talking about.
Let's say-
hey,
let's say-
why is this nation taking a moment of silence for this depressing event
Yeah,
that just happened?
but
Could
like,
we talk about
The
that?
thing is, though, the way Connor and I lie, it's very detail oriented.
Well, let's say
We're very
the
good
way
at
that anyone
making up-
lies. Don't
Well, no,
make
but
yourself-
we're very good at improving
I disagree.
specific details
Right. Yeah. Well, way to be
and
humble.
thinking on the fly.
Way to be humble.
Thank you.
Let's look. Okay, let's say you're at a frat. Let's say this year's a
networking
frat party.
event. A networking
You're at a frat party, and then some some chicks walk up to you and say, "Why is the flag at half-mast?" That's a good
Why do they ask
conversation
you?
starter.
Why are they asking
I
you?
don't know, because we're attractive men of a frat party. That's what.
These
the
guys
we?
are
It's
really
2018,
humble
reversal
people.
of the roles.
Well, Tanner.
What
Yeah,
about
Tanner is an attractive guy.
Oh, Tanner, yeah.
agree.
Yeah, especially with his new haircut and the cold sore.
I haven't seen
Yeah, and the cold
the
sore.
giant cold sore on his
I mean,
lip.
that's getting me going.
Yeah, a girl doesn't want to talk to a guy with a big herpes stain on his.
Oh, jeez. So, fun fact: when I told my mom earlier about this podcast, she was like, "Do you want to send me a link once it's done?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I will." I mean, on the off chance that it goes somewhere that I don't, feel comfortable with you listening. We're college students and all, but I think so far we're actually doing well.
It's fine for the most
Right.
part. This show is PG-13.
It's
Right.
decent.
Because you have to pay extra for the explicit.
You
rating.
do.
Yeah,
have to
you
pay
do.
extra for
Right.
it.
We insert some words.
Yeah, Connor just records
Yeah.
a bunch of curse words. And
I
then
just
we just insert them.
back when
randomly.
I was trying to be a SoundCloud rapper, and
Yeah.
I just
No,
insert people
you're
words.
you're confusing yourself with Tanner.
Oh, right, of course.
So at this networking event, you eventually convinced Stephanie and Geraldine to
Come on,
join
talkers.
Up here on the podcast.
the podcast.
Yeah.
Why? Like, what did you talk about? Because to
Well,
be
which-
honest,
which story we talking
Well,
about?
this
I just
Daniel
asked-
was
You have to guess
the
which
only
one's the
reason I
real
came on
story.
this is because I'm friends with Daniel,
Oh, okay.
and was like, because the podcast isn't about anything,
No.
and so I'm
It isn't.
confused
And you've already
how you
noticed that.
convince someone to come on a podcast that is literally just
About nothing.
college-aged kids having a conversation.
Yeah. Well, which one do you think is a real story? Is the question.
At this point, it doesn't matter. Both of them end with you convincing them to get on the podcast.
Well, we gotta figure out the real one.
It's definitely the first one. Is the
Are we,
real
do we
one.
actually have
You
to?
actually have to guess for our listeners.
No, I think it's the second one. The second one has a good amount of detail.
Go
The
ahead.
first one is fake.
the real story is the
Neither.
second story.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We were at a frat party, and they came up to us. Tanner and I were talking.
No,
and
you
they-
said networking event.
no.
It's the same
It's a
thing.
network. It's the same thing.
You
Was
said
it?
you
Okay.
could
They
have
walked,
called
they
it a
walked
networking
up to
event.
us.
I guess I
And
didn't
then-
think that at a networking event there would be like a inflatable, like blow up thing.
Yeah, and they had to. And then literally the conversation starter she had was, "Why is the flag at half-mast?"
It's a terrible
That's how she started the
conversation.
conversation.
No offense to Stephanie and Geraldine, who might be listening to this
Who might
because
be.
they're going to be on those.
Yeah, they got to prepare.
But
Do they
Jesus
really do their homework?
Christ.
Did you listen to an episode before you came on?
Not. I mean, I've
You
listened
have
to
listened
parts
before,
of
yeah.
episodes. Yeah.
When you run.
Sometimes.
This guy, also the dad thing.
Oh my God.
Doesn't help. But when he runs, most people listen to music. Maybe they
Yeah.
just run by themselves, not whatever, thinking about whatever.
I can't be alone
This
with my
guy
thoughts.
picks up a newspaper
Right.
and is running with a
No,
newspaper in his
no.
hand.
See, that's the picture I've got to use for the Instagram.
Peter
I've got
running
my
shirtless,
headphones.
With
stomach
with-
first,
just
with a
scrolling through.
newspaper, reading a
Reading the
newspaper while he's
funnies.
running. Yeah.
So the funnies. So I forgot my headphones, and I don't deal well with being like having nothing to focus on.
Mhm.
I get bored very, very easily. And so I was running and I saw about 2-month-old newspaper on the ground. And so I picked it up and I read an editorial article talking very condescendingly to the YDSA about how they need to be less belligerent on campus or whatever. And I don't really care either way. I'm not, despite being a public policy major, I really don't have that many political opinions.
That's not true at all.
Or I keep them to myself.
Okay.
But it was just incredibly condescending towards the YDSA. I would say that the YDSA has been surprisingly successful on this campus, in that they've gained a following at all. This is Georgia Tech, a campus where politics, the most political conversation gets on this campus is that you need to vote and that there needs to be more funding for science and technology. And that's where everybody stands. And every time I bring that up, the Georgia Tech students go, yeah, I can agree with that. So that's about as far as it gets. And yet, our biggest political organization on campus is the Young Democratic Socialists of America. And you got to give them credits for that, despite the fact they do have belligerent methods.
They are very aggressive.
Right. But it gets the word out for them. And then plus the thing that happened with
The lawsuit.
Purdue, that's a pretty big deal for them. I mean, that puts them in the national news. That
Yeah, but even when I talked to Nadia about it, she's like, oh yeah, she knows the person.
Right.
And she's like, oh, that's definitely something they would do.
Right. Like, but that's how, and this is something I guess that speaks to a broader trend. But that's how. It may be frustrating, and we may not agree with it, but that's the stuff that makes it to the news. That's the stuff that makes change. And so, if you want to get into the news, you just keep antagonizing until one time a politician sort of snaps back, and then they've got an audio clip, and that can go on the news. Not saying that what Purdue did was okay at all, or is justified at all, but like, it's sort of being an antagonist definitely works if you want to get something in the national conversation.
And that is some advice from our in-house public policy
Right.
major. Ladies like bad boys.
Right, that is true. If you start fires, you will get attention.
Yeah.
The fun fact, the thing that I guess changes it from being able to use on a personal level versus like a national conversation is that we care about our politicians. No offense to the person whose phone was snatched, but the nation doesn't care about you. And so when that story comes up, nobody's looking into the Georgia Tech YDSA. And so nobody's going to go on to MSNBC or CNN and say like, well, the YDSA is a habit of doing antagonist strategies to get this back. No, I mean, there might be a few far-right conservative people who say that, but you can steer the conversation towards, the politician did something bad versus, let's say you are an individual starting fires on campus in order to send a message out or something. But the focus is going to be on you, the arsonist, versus whoever's retaliating, most likely fire department.
Again, that's a lot of big words.
Yeah, that's a lot for Connor.
Yeah, so I'm
Connor's
gonna-
not a smart person.
No.
What's really funny is that we're at Georgia Tech, a school filled of very smart people.
decently smart. It's not. I mean, it's the MIT of the South.
I mean, look at this guy.
Look at me. I mean,
Sweatshirt
I got a
and shorts.
77 on my policy memo, so I wouldn't really say I'm the
That's
smartest
not
guy
that
in the
bad.
world. No,
I wish
I'm
I get
embarrassed.
77
I'm
on my-
ashamed,
on my
actually,
test.
of that. Dr. Bark, if you're listening to this, really, I've been thinking about this for about 4 days straight. It's a point of great shame for me, and thank you for being blunt on my essay, but geez, did you really have to say colossi? It was a horrible word to use. I mean,
All right, let's get a little too personal. So, what were you
Hurt.
talking about before?
I don't know what I was
Stephanie and
talking
Geraldine.
about.
Stephanie and Geraldine.
Stephanie and Geraldine. So
Well,
they're
come
coming
on.
on
I'm
the
sorry.
show.
So next week that'll happen.
Yeah. Well, no, tomorrow's gonna happen.
Well, no, I mean like
But
next
it's
week.
for our listeners.
the listeners. What's interesting, like what is their draw? Why do we want to listen to them?
Because Peter's draw is.
I have no draw.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
think
didn't
of something
like how that-
positive to
He
say.
ran shirtless with a newspaper. I would say
That's enough of a draw.
that's enough of a draw right there.
That's the
Well,
title
and I
of the
ran
episode,
barefoot
Peter.
on concrete.
And you were
on Thursday.
Ran, yeah. I mean,
What's their draw?
we talked to them. They said they wanted to come on.
That's it.
And I was
enough.
like, well, I guess you can come on. They seem like they could have
And I will say,
interest
I will not be.
You will not be present. It will just be Tanner and I.
Tanner.
God,
Yes,
Tanner. and you.
Tanner-
Tanner's coming on?
Tanner will be coming
You
on.
confirmed that with him?
This is confirmed.
So we get to
Are you
listen to
serious? I
awkward
can't tell
flirting
you're
for an
joking.
hour.
Why can't you feel if I'm joking or not? You've known me for
Because
how long
we
now?
talk about how I know, but we every time we bring up Tanner, you're like disgusted and you don't want him on this
No.
podcast.
I think that's the joke.
That's a joke.
No,
But
but
he
you
will be
genuinely
here.
did not want him on this
Genuinely-
podcast,
Genuinely,
and now you're
Genuinely.
inviting him on.
and now he's coming on.
Okay, you, Tanner, and Stephanie and
Geraldine and
Geraldine.
Stephanie.
Wow, that's 4 people.
That's 4 people.
It's
That's
a
going to be a
foursome.
big podcast.
Still only
So we're all
one
going to be
host.
just like huddled around here,
Mhm.
talking with each
Get
other
the good mic too.
about our feelings. So it'll be a good podcast. I think.
That's 10 enough people. I shouldn't be on anyway if there's 4 people.
Right,
on.
that's gonna be a lot.
No,
We've done 5 before.
we've
At
done
once?
5.
Which one was that?
Well, one of them was Owen. So,
So it was a 4
Owen
plus
does
1.
not talk.
It does not.
Why doesn't he talk very much? I mean,
He's
how
just
do you
shy.
do that? I've tried.
Not talking?
Yeah, it does not work for me.
He's just a shy guy. Living in a loud world.
That was deep. Did he say that was his quote? That his quote? I'm a shy guy.
Oh, I need a senior quote.
Oh,
What should my
does
quote be?
Tech do that?
No. It's for the band. At the senior
You're a
game.
senior?
Yeah.
Wow,
Dude, I'm turning 22 in a couple months.
you're an old dude.
Yeah, we went over this.
Wow. Yeah.
I'll be back next year, but I'm graduating for undergrad. And so, yeah, don't worry, Peter.
So you've
you
done
know.
graduate school applications already?
Oh, I
Or
did.
are
I'm
you
doing the
that right now?
BSMS.
Oh, okay,
So
so
I
you're,
didn't. I technically.
is it
I
a
guess-
5-year
Yeah,
thing? So
I
you're
could-
gonna have
I-
your master's degree next year?
Yeah,
That's impressive.
theoretically, I have to pass my classes.
Right.
So, and safety is going kind of hectic right now. Anyway, I need a quote that they show on the screen. Like they go, it's like basically a montage of all the, with like my picture.
Yeah.
And then I think it was in the Chris Moore email.
I didn't.
Anyway,
that
there's a
part.
quote that, and should I just make it like, check out the Experience podcast?
Oh my goodness.
It's got to be.
No.
It's got to be something from the experience.
Yeah, as
podcast.
shameless as
Just,
like
just
Oh.
put the entire URL.
Yeah,
Just
put the
podcast.com/the experience.
912 whatever ABC 78.
Well, I
something
feel like
that.
you can leverage this actually to get people to listen.
That's
to
what
it,
I'm
but you
saying. I
can't-
mean,
but
it's a
you
big
can't-
audience.
If you have a chill reference to it,
But
that
that's
was terrible.
almost, but it almost meets the personality of the podcast.
Yeah.
It does, but I don't think you want to let people know the personality of the podcast before they listen to it.
So what should my
I don't
quote
know.
then
That's
be?
we should get a marketing major on this.
We should. We don't have a marketing major, and we've got a public policy major.
It's close enough.
Very-
That's close enough.
very-
What do you
It's the
think we
same
should
thing.
do?
It's the
Very
same
different.
thing. Well, it doesn't have to be marketing. I'm
I don't
just
talk
asking.
about the rhetoric. No, I'm actually legitimately thinking that you can get just a short thing that would get people to listen to this on there.
But
And
I'm-
it would be you'd have the joke element of it because haha, Daniel is talking about his podcast. It's not much of a joke, but talking about his podcast through his senior quote. So that's theoretically humorous. But then you actually get people to listen to it too.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's
Which is
something
like
to go-
30,000 people in that stadium.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Even if I get 10
Oh my
people.
God, this is gonna be in the stadium.
Yes!
Oh, I thought it was gonna be at like a band event or something. Oh, this
No.
is perfect.
That's what I'm saying. It's,
Oh,
it's on the big
man. Oh, man.
screen in the stadium. Like right after our halftime show, they basically play it as we're walking back up into the stands. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's going to see it. There's 30,000, 35,000 people that would see it.
Actually, talk to a marketing major about this. Like, what is a sentence?
Well, I want to go back to what we discussed earlier about how, ladies of bad boys, you've got to do something that's just so awful as a senior quote that people see it and are like, "What is this podcast?" Like, just have like every like curse word in the world just as your senior quote.
Check out this beep, 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 beep podcast.
Yeah.
What?
The letter D, but the way that Connor writes it.
What do you mean?
You asked for the worst thing in the world.
That's
Oh,
pretty bad.
That's is that the worst?
Take a
thing in
picture
the
of that and post it on
No,
the
don't
Instagram.
let them know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
world? No, you can't tell.
However you can imagine the worst
way
way
to write a
to
D.
That
write
is
a
not.
D.
That's how you write a D.
It's very bad.
So what makes it even worse is that Connor won't admit that it's
Yeah.
a bad way. of
It's
writing
not a
D.
bad way to write a D.
We should bring in the person that helped us set
Can
this up.
should we invite
And
our
ask
new
No,
guest?
no,
no, not right now. After the
We're not
show.
gonna disrupt
After the
people.
show. Yeah, she's working on nothing.
She's listening to Spotify.
She's wonderful, by the way.
She's
great.
reviewing music right now.
She's
5
so
stars
helpful
right
with
there.
this. Anyway, yeah, I need a quote. It doesn't have to be something with a podcast. I just figured that could be a good
No,
opportunity.
I think
that'd be very
100%
It'd be
you
very
should
much
do-
me to do that too.
you should explain the podcast.
I can't just be
on-
like, "Thanks, mom and dad," because first of all, they'll never see it.
Right.
Because they're not going to be at the game,
No.
and they don't televise the
No.
the band's
That'd be
montage.
awful.
They don't even televise the
No,
band
you should
performance.
you should absolutely have something about the podcast. I don't think you need to explain why. It's
I can do it about my stand up too if I wanted to.
It's
No,
gotta be
podcast.
something controversial, I think. Like something. It's gotta be like
I don't think it has to be.
racist. sexist or something. Just everything like this awful.
All of them.
Find more
Anti-Semitic.
at theexperiencepodcast.com.
Here,
Pretty good.
I mean, I could just say I could make it very simple. Just be like, check out the Experience podcast on iTunes and Google Play.
No
And
one's
that'll
gonna
fit.
hear
hear
Yeah.
why Daniel thinks the Holocaust was a good thing.
Yes.
On the Experience
There we-
podcast.
on the
Make it
Experience
clickbaity.
podcast. Yes.
Well, I mean, next time Nadia comes on, that title will be Nadia's sex life exposed, and that's very clickbaity.
Jeez. A disclaimer: the Holocaust was not a good thing.
And I do
and I
not
hate that I have to
No.
say
endorse
this,
that.
but I feel like politics is in a weird enough state right now that I do actually have
use
to
a poll quote,
clarify
yep.
that I don't think
Yeah,
that
you'll
the
be on
Nazis
this show
were
going,
good.
oh.
Neither do I. You're the
Right.
one that said that I thought it.
Good.
Can you clarify that for me too?
No, I think you can do that on your own.
Yeah.
Well, as a Jewish man,
Well, as an
Are you
atheist
actually
Jew.
Jewish?
yes, I am.
You're
Look
an
at my
atheist
last
Jew.
name.
I can't assume someone's
That's true. Okay,
someone's religion off of their
definitely
last name.
Yeah, but my last name is pretty.
It is up there.
It's pretty Jewish.
But
And
the last
yes.
name alone could get you into AEPI. That's what we're saying there, but it also does happen that you are
Yes.
Jewish.
And yeah, I do not endorse the events of the Holocaust.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
there we go.
There you go, Connor.
Oh,
Are
it
you
was
Jewish?
something.
You might as well.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
There were good. There were bad people on both sides.
Yes.
Which also I don't agree.
No.
I'm really worried that I'm going to be running for office in like
They'll pull
like
this
40
out.
years. Well, because
Well,
do you remember the
it's-
John Ossoff campaign?
Everyone gets dug up.
And how they brought up like this video that they made of some sort of like thing talking about alcohol, basically, and they ran a campaign ad like John Ossoff drank alcohol in college, and so I'm just worried that in 40 years they're gonna be like, Peter Tilley thought the Holocaust was a good thing, and then they're gonna play this
Your
clip
sound
that was like
bites.
the Holocaust was a good thing, and just here I'll help them. Let's have some silence. No, I'm not gonna do that.
What are you
actually.
trying to do?
I would say
Hey,
that
give him a setup.
the Holocaust, and then I've mentioned the
What's the opposite of a bat?
Jesus.
Is what he was going to say.
Just stop talking about the Holocaust. We're done with that.
And while we're at it, just as a reminder, Stalin killed more people.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's
It
stop
amounted
talking about
to.
let's stop talking about the 20th century.
So what we're saying is
major
when we say
history
that the
events.
Holocaust was the worst, we're saying that the Western Chinese lives matter less than Western Europeans. Because in the Red Revolution, about 40 million Chinese died.
I'm also Chinese, so I also do not endorse.
Are you?
Well,
I'm very diverse.
Okay. It's a lot going on with
Yeah, there's a lot going on with my life.
hashtag Western Chinese Lives Matter.
I am
That's-
Scotch Irish.
that's the
and
one
my
you're
family's
starting.
lived in
Yeah.
the South for the past 300 years, so there's nothing interesting going on.
Anyway, you might as well in the waning hours, and by that I mean minutes.
13 minutes.
Keep talking.
Daniel.
Of this podcast, I had to make
Sets
sure
and
that.
spikes.
We might as well go through our big announcement. I don't know if I told. I guess I did.
You
tell
really have. Oh, that one
Yeah.
for the
It's a
16th.
big announcement.
Yep. We had a big thing, November 16th.
So
What's
exciting.
the location?
Location is the
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech
Student
Institute of
Center.
Technology.
Yeah. It's Georgia Tech Institute of Technology,
Yep. University
University of College.
of College. And it is in the Student Center
Uh-huh.
at Georgia Tech,
Which room?
the Crescent Room,
No.
the Piedmont Room.
Yes.
It's in the Piedmont Room at Georgia Tech
What
in the
time?
Student Center at 8 o'clock.
When do doors open?
At, I don't know,
8
7:59,
7:30.
7:30.
Never let people in at 7:30, and
Okay.
the show will
I
start
was
at
going
8.
to come at 7:30.
What is the show?
The show? Well, it's
Everyone, good seats.
It's a live podcast.
So here's
We should do a live
podcast.
Honestly, if we could do that at some point, if we get
I think we should do that at some point.
but with no one there. It's,
Uh-huh.
it's like Tanner in the audience. He's just like, ah!
Just like one person clapping.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Sorry, but what's the big event, Connor?
Here's what I still think my idea was better. That we should have
Oh
had.
my God! No,
Hey.
this isn't a time for you to talk about what the event could be.
Here's what the
You gotta
event
say
could
what
have
the
been.
event is.
It's what the event could have been. I think it would have been a better idea. Okay, if we would have said that this event was the actual beauty pageant. Okay.
No.
And then people would have came to it, everyone would be like, "Oh, this is the actual beauty pageant."
No.
I walk up and a sundress and romper, and then everyone like, "This is not the event," but we already got their money. So, and then we reveal it's a comedy show.
Yeah, so
That was a great way to reveal what the event is.
the event is a comedy show. I'll be headlining the event, I guess.
I'll be like
Yeah.
the third opener.
We have 5. Actually, you will be exactly the third opener.
Yeah.
We have 5 openers. That's not confirmed yet because there's someone else that I think also would want to do. We may have an open audition for the last.
Oh,
I came
so-
across as sort of pro-Holocaust back there.
Let's keep talking about it. Let's keep talking about it.
Yeah. Dig your grave deeper now.
Right.
Anyway, we got a comedy show coming up. We really want people. It's a fundraiser event. Nadia's beauty pageant. She's actually raising funds for charity. So all the money is going to a charity.
The CIA had a secret war in Laos where they dropped more
Are
bombs.
we still doing
on
this?
Laos.
Are we still
Well, I'm
doing
just saying
this?
that there were lots of horrible things.
There's
that
a
happened.
comedy show coming up, Peter, and he didn't want to do it. I actually asked him to
You
open for me.
did twice. I don't know why.
I figured maybe your opinion changed.
No.
If you knew that.
No, I don't know
Steven-
why about the twice thing. I don't know why in general.
No, because I think you could do it. You don't think he could open?
Well, anyone can do it.
You would talk about politics, like the Holocaust.
You could talk. That's a good conversation. That's just like
You're right.
Anyway,
It's
we got a bunch
better
of
than asking
openers. I
about
won't
flags
reveal the
that
full list of openers yet because it's still not confirmed, and I don't
No.
know if I can.
He doesn't have any.
We do. We have pretty much everyone's locked in. We have 5 openers. We have a couple hosts. The hosts will
You
be.
have 5 openers. Have you ever been to a show where you're like really excited to see the band, and then you have to sit through 3 or 5
No.
acts?
Okay, the openers are literally 5 minutes each. Like it's quick.
25 minutes plus.
Yeah, once they get to me, people are going to start leaving. People are like, oh, this if
We
this
also have to make.
5 sounds like a bit.
We also have to make it worth their time.
If you think 5 is a bit much, follow at PG Tilly on Instagram.
we have to make it worth their time too.
Okay.
It's essentially like a mini headliner. It's essentially a 5.
You don't think you can take up the stage long enough to make it a good comedy show?
Right now, I booked myself for 15 minutes. That seems like a lot. I don't know if I can get through 15 minutes. I have to do a
I'll
lot
just
of
make mine
crowd work.
longer. I'll make mine 7.
No.
You can do 13.
No, we have to do. I'll just do it. But anyway, we have 2 hosts. I'll announce the hosts because I think this is a good. Because I know now Peter will definitely go.
You should have a news up there.
You should ask him. The hosts are Libby and Grant.
Okay.
They will be hosting the show, so
Oh,
you'll
that's
see them to
exciting.
open it up. They'll do like a little opening bit, and then
That
we'll
makes
go
me
in.
so happy.
Yeah, exactly. Then we'll go in. We have 5 minutes for 5 different openers. They're going to be great.
They will.
Well-
I'm not doubting that.
Yeah, one of them is Steven Aceto. I'll announce that.
Nice.
We got Steven Aceto.
Steven Aceto is my vet.
Yes. But they don't really talk, so that's it. Connor may be an opener. We're not sure.
Maybe.
Well, we have again. It's a competitive
Connor's
spot.
a
The
no.
last spot is
Am
very
I going to have to audition for you?
We may do like an audition
I'm
if we have like 3 people that want to do it. Might as well.
A week
Yeah.
ago, Daniel was having so much trouble finding anyone that he
I know now I got this
doing
whole
an
list of
open
openers.
audition.
Well, because it's not my thing. It's Nadia's beauty pageant fundraiser. I'm just headlining the show, and so Nadia got all these openers pretty much.
Well, good job, Nadia.
Actually, she got every single one of the openers. It wasn't me. So maybe I need her as my manager to get openers.
Right.
for
Or
me.
maybe she's the one running the event.
Yeah, maybe
and
she's
was
doing
in
the
charge
whole
of it.
thing.
Well, because also like they know that they're doing it for like a charity, like they're volunteering for
Right.
charity.
Versus Daniel
not getting
coming
paid?
up and saying,
Versus me, no, you're not getting paid.
Oh.
Connor,
We will
Think
need
about the
someone to
children.
volunteer
Think
to
about
run
the
the
children.
concession stand, Peter,
Okay.
if you'd like to do that.
I might.
Otherwise, Connor, if you don't make the cut, then you would run the concession.
And so I just like do my own little like
Well,
comedy
here's
show,
what I was
like-
thinking, and I asked Owen to do this originally, but he didn't want to do it. Was you would dress up with like pants, like tight pants,
Okay.
suspenders, no shirt, and you'd have like buckets hanging from the suspenders, like for people to donate money to. You just walk up and down like the aisles, asking for money. Do you think you could do that?
Well, that wouldn't be like a.
Where in the
Would you
world
really
did
want
you
me
get that idea?
shirtless?
I don't know why.
Would you want me shirtless?
Oh,
and
it was for Owen.
suspenders?
But then Owen didn't want to do it for obvious reasons. Well, you don't mind just going to parties shirtless. I mean,
He
social.
says obvious reasons. The reasons aren't that obvious. I'm not going to ask you to go into them. I'm just letting everybody know that, to me, the reasons aren't obvious. It's not like Daniel and I have some sort of
For
secret
what? For what?
for why
What I
Owen
said-
wouldn't want to go shirtless
Owen's
in
just shy.
suspenders.
That's all.
I forget about that.
Yeah, that's really all. Is Owen's a shy guy.
He's a shy guy in
Living
a
in
loud
a loud
world.
world.
Living in a loud world.
He's a shy guy in a loud world.
That's his senior
That's going to be
quote.
the name of Daniel's first comedy album.
shy guy in a
Shy
loud
guy in a
world.
loud
Loud
world.
world.
Yeah, that should be his senior quote. I should tell him to do that.
I like it.
Anyway, Connor, if you'd like to do that as well.
So I'll be doing both concessions, and then it was like my time. I'll just like walk up, do my opener, and then like come back to the concessions.
No. You would
I'll
do
be-
one or the other.
I'll do all 3. I'll do like the concessions in the
Doors open at
roles.
7:30. Show starts at 8 o'clock.
Mhm.
Come to the Student Center
Piedmont Room.
Piedmont
at Georgia
Room.
Tech.
Piedmont
Piedmont
Georgia Tech.
means foothills. Foot.
She needs to
More
raise a lot of money
Piedmont.
though, and she thought this was a good idea.
Foothills.
She has a premium headliner. No.
Who?
Daniel, I don't know why you just said that you weren't that good of a headliner. That was sort of a weird thing to say.
Yeah,
we should,
no,
we
this
shouldn't,
is
yeah, we
very
shouldn't run
weird,
ourselves
yeah.
down on this show.
Well, because everyone else doesn't have all the openers don't have any experience, so that's the part of the issue. Maybe we should all go to like an open mic night. We should take you.
You really got to give them some experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go to an open mic night?
Oh,
Could you
yeah,
do something
open
this
mic night.
Thursday?
I can do something this Thursday.
You go on stage, do 5 minutes.
No, I can't. I've got a chemi test this Thursday.
Could you do it Sunday night?
You have a Kimmy test Thursday at 8 o'clock.
No, not 8 o'clock. It goes until 8 o'clock, though.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Yeah, we can do
Nine.
Thursday night. But I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have like leftover like cortisol in my brain, so I don't know how good it's gonna go.
Do you have a set? Do you think you have a 5 minute set?
I've got a
you
5 minute set already written.
Could you give us a sneak peek?
I give a sneak peek?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Spare the audience.
We gotta.
Okay.
It's a surprise.
Anyway, if all of our listeners,
All of them.
all dozens,
All multiple dozens of
could
them.
come out, it's a good event. She's raising money for. Well, I'm not going to spoil who for what, but it's a good
I don't really
charity.
think that's spoiling it. I think that's.
No.
I think it would be a good thing to tell them what they raised.
Really?
money
Let me maybe make sure it's the same one.
Oh, she checks back in time.
Anyway,
Like,
it's called.
people aren't gonna care if we're just like, we're raising money for something.
Well, it could be a little controversial.
How?
Well, let me show
To
you.
our 12 listeners,
Let me show
Nobody's-
you what it is, and then you can tell me whether you think it's worth.
because otherwise it just sounds like we're gonna pocket the money.
Okay, could you? Do you see that could be
Yeah,
a
that's
little?
fine. Do you
You
know
think
what
that-
city
yeah.
we're in?
I know, but just to make sure. With you and your
Jeez.
Holocaust stuff.
All right.
This is
That's
controversial.
true.
enough.
Look, all of the points I made there were just to say that there were a lot of terrible things that went on, and we tend to look at history through a European-focused lens. There was nothing to say to diminish the
All right, we're done with
experience
this.
of those.
Anyway, the charity that they're
Just
donating to,
bad.
Nadia wants to donate this money, the pageant money that she raises, to an organization called Lost and Found,
Mhm.
which is an Atlanta-based nonprofit organization. It basically helps out the LGBT homeless community, or homeless LGBT community.
Right, and it's a
Right.
great. I've heard of this organization beyond just this event, and they're phenomenal. Every time I've
Yes.
heard of
And it
them,
obviously
I feel-
speaks very home to Nadia, who,
Mhm.
I guess isn't homeless, but
Right.
this is what she wants. This is where she wants to donate the money. So that's where the money is.
It's a great
is
thing.
going.
And if you don't go, what you're basically telling the world
Is keep them homeless.
is to
Keep-
keep LGBT teens who might have been kicked out of their own.
Who have already, not
Yeah,
might
yeah,
have.
they-
have
they're
already
already
been.
have.
Well, they could be homeless for other reasons. But who were probably kicked out of their homes because of something that they can't control, against parents who are no longer accepting them as who they are, and you're saying that that's okay. So if you don't want to, now I have to go. Okay, I'm
have to
gonna be
go.
there.
Anyway, we're
But
running
if
long,
you
so
don't-
wrap this up.
No, we're not. We've still got 3 minutes.
No, we go 55 minutes.
Yeah,
But-
this is.
Basically, you're a bad person if you don't go.
And we're gonna end it on that. Thanks for listening to the show, Peter. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, good
It
show.
was fun. I'm really worried about some of the things I
Why
said.
did you
Yeah.
say
But we're fine.
All right, Connor, anything to say?
CIA bombed Laos,
yeah.
they bombed Germany,
Holocaust.
Japan.